grounded and were milling around, and we had a platform to talk to people. And we got out our message, and we gave out our Xeroxed, our photocopied pamphlets. And people started coming around because we were so unusual. What were these kids doing at this serious conference? So what had started out being, our disadvantage, we were just children, actually turned out to be the very reason why we started getting listened to. We were so unusual. And finally, after 2 weeks of very hard work, we got a call from the UN. There was space in the program, and we could have 5 minutes to speak to the world leaders. And that's how I was able to give that speech. The response was passionate. People were crying. People rose to their feet. It was one of the 3 standing ovations at the summit. And this guy came up to me after and he said, "Congratulations, that was the best speech at Rio." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." And then my dad leaned over and he said, "Oh, that was Al Gore. He's an American senator. He's a pretty good guy." These delegates had heard me. The declarations, the agreements that came out of Rio in 1992 were visionary, and they were full of resolve to do the right thing. And in my 12-year-old innocence, I think I believed nothing less than that these people would just fix the problems. So what has happened since? In 21 years. In 21 years, I have changed. After the Rio Earth Summit in 1992, I started high school, started grade 8. I played basketball, I enjoyed science and art. And at the same time, news of that speech got out, and I started getting invitations to speak all over the world as a youth advocate for sustainability. I was invited to be on the Earth Charter Commission alongside an incredible group of leaders, a cross-section from politicians to artists to spiritual leaders to scientists. It was an incredible opportunity for me as a teenager. And today I'm very proud of the Earth Charter, which was a years-long process, a document that is slowly gaining support around the world. And the Earth Charter, I'll just read from the website, the Earth Charter is a declaration of fundamental ethical values for building a just, sustainable, and peaceful global society. It seeks to inspire in all a new sense of global interdependence and shared responsibility in the well-being of a whole human family, the greater community of life, and future generations. And I would encourage you to check this declaration out at earthcharterinaction.org. And tomorrow I'm going to speak at the University for Peace, which is home of the Earth Charter Secretariat. I'm really excited. I participated in more world conferences. I was invited to the UN's Rio Plus 5 and prep comms for Rio Plus 10. I was at the Kyoto Protocol conference in 1997 in Japan, at the COP in Montreal. I was in Johannesburg in 2002, and this was Rio Plus 10, where I was invited as an advisor to the Secretary General, and where I brought my American and Canadian youth think tank, the Skyfish Project, as well as a documentary film crew to follow us. However, over the years, with each global conference, I sensed that sustainability at the global political level as an issue was starting to lose traction. The frustration of the non-governmental organizations who were always there in the hopes of influencing the negotiations was always palpable. And I remember at the 10-year anniversary of the first Earth Summit, which was in Johannesburg in 2002, I remember everybody called Johannesburg Rio -10 because we were going backwards in our commitments. And I realized that those top-level politicians, those so-called leaders of the world, we're not going to change the world for us. I realized that if we want change, we have to find the solutions ourselves, and we have to make them happen. And we have to build support from the ground up to force our governments to change. They're not going to change first.